Thank you, Madam President. I listened to the discussion here this morning, and it saddened me, but I understand some of the statements made by my colleagues regarding the plans before you as it affects certain geographic areas of the state. Nothing I say will take away your anger, your frustration, your viewpoint. But I want you to know that you blame me. You blame Peter and Michael Coleman Courtney, for it all started with me. I am responsible. I made conscious decisions as the President of the Senate as to how to proceed. I made a decision to go with the Redistricting Committee. That had never been done before in my legislative career. This will be my fourth redistricting I've been through. I made a conscious decision to go with 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans, and I got heat for that. And I made a conscious decision of the 6 magnificent Oregonians who would be on that committee. I asked Senator Suzanne Bonamici to chair that committee, and I asked Senator Chris Telfer to help her as the vice chair. Senator Bruce Starr, Senator Jason Atkinson, Senator Floyd Brzezinski, and Senator Levi. I sent them on an impossible mission, a mission that could not be accomplished, a mission that was not accomplished. It is not being accomplished in this country and other state legislatures, and it had not been accomplished in the Oregon way in our history in so very long we cannot even remember when it was last. And I asked them if they would do this. There was reluctance, but they said they would go forward. Today, their efforts are before us. All I ask each of you is that sometime before this day is over, to go to the leader of that committee, the vice chair of that committee, and the members of that committee, and thank them. You all have lived long enough to know what a saga is. You all have taken on impossible missions in your political and your personal and professional lives. You know what it's done to you. It's taken years off your life, and maybe in some ways it's changed you. These individuals somehow found a way to do what was impossible. They geographically went on a tour of the state that's never before been done by a redistricting committee. They went to every nook and cranny. Every nook and cranny. They listened, sometimes to testimonies which were mean, and they took it. They took it. And they continue to toil. They themselves struggled with each other, but they never, ever gave up. They never stopped believing that they somehow in this legislature, in this Senate, would do it. They are leading us. I, in my legislative career, in my 27th year, I have never seen this before, and I will never see it again. If that is melodramatic, so be it. But history will write about such one day. The odds, 100 to 1, they were much worse than that. History wasn't on their side. Politics wasn't on their side. Partnerships weren't on their side. Advocates weren't on their side. They were alone. They were alone. They had no friends. They were a band of brothers and sisters. That's all they had. Over and over and over again, in that little group of staff people, oh yeah, that were magnificent, always there. That's all they had. They were getting hit from all sides, trying to draw the perfect district, Senate district and House district, trying to make sure that everything that you've talked about today was taken into consideration, politically, professionally, and legally. Over and over again, they were put down and pushed back, but they kept coming. Last Friday it broke. Somehow these individuals have done something for Oregon and her way of life that's so much a part of her history. You know what? They could have been on that first wagon. In fact, I believe they were on that very first wagon. Their type of people were on the first wagon in the Oregon Trail. I'm convinced they were. You know what I really love about what they've done? I am tired of hearing about the legislature taking a pass. Either we take it or somebody else. It's not a commission responsibility. Oh, no. It's not retired judge's responsibility. It's the Oregon legislature's responsibility to redistrict this state. And it has failed and failed and failed and failed. Today, the Oregon legislature is not taking a pass. That is what the legislature's responsibility was. We have as much responsibility to redistrict ourselves as we do to balance the budget. That is a constitutional responsibility. And we have failed and failed. With this group of 6, with their leaders, Bonamici and Telford said, we are not going to fail. And today, they should not only make us proud, they got to make this state proud. There will be no pass today for the Oregon legislature. No pass. And I will tell you something. I probably won't even be alive in 2021, 2031. Their work will be emulated every 10 years, and I believe the Oregon legislature will do it again and again and again and again because of their efforts. One last thing. Senate District 11, my district, is not my district. I don't own that district. If you go back and look at my district in the House in 1981, in 1991, in 2001, and now today, I never owned West Salem. It's gone. I never owned Kaiser. It's gone. I never heard hardly of Jervis and Woodburn. They're now in my district and were last time. I never owned them. I never owned them. They don't belong to Peter, Michael, Coleman, Courtney. This is not about any individual. It never has been. It never can be. That is not what redistricting is. We are here. We take an oath. We will represent who we represent, and I've watched you. I don't care how the lines are drawn. You will represent because you are public servants. That is your job. We do our job. Today, these individuals have done the job for the Oregon State Senate and the Oregon legislature, but more importantly, they have done something for the state of Oregon and her history and her people, because they remembered, more than anything else, that is their job, it is their duty, and they were not going to fail this time. Yes, I wish it could be an unanimous vote, because I'm a sentimental old fool, broken down cheetah Irishman, but I know better. But what I also know is there's going to be a yes vote. And you know what's even more interesting? There's nobody here. There's nobody here. The press isn't here. It's quiet. Isn't that interesting? 8:30 on a Friday morning. If you check history, that's often when some of the most historic things have been done. It's just us, little group of 30 and the magnificent 6. That's all it is. But it's going to speak volumes for our history, our present, and our future. You better believe I'm proud. I'm proud as I can be of the senators that brought us here. Most of all, I'm proud because the legislature today will do its job for Oregon, my Oregon. And I get a chance for the first time in 26 years to vote for a redistricting plan, a very good plan that meets every one of the 5 standards and commandments that's set out there by the courts and set out there legally. Every single one of them. Proud today because in a few moments, men and women from rural Oregon, urban Oregon, all kinds of backgrounds, Democrats and Republicans, are going up the hill with me. Because you know why? 6 others all alone went up the hill and showed us the way. Thank you, Madam President.